everybody, and welcome to The Spice. My name is Blake.
And my name is Angel. And if this is your first time listening, welcome. The Spice is a variety show where we kind of talk about a little bit of everything, but mostly we talk about things regarding sex and relationships and infidelity and any little thing in between.
So if you have any questions that you would like answered or some advice on, you can email us at thespicepodcastofficial@gmail.com.
Ding, ding, ding. Absolutely. So with that being said, the title of today's episode is He Cheated on Me Twice.
Ouch.
Yes. And for those of you who are listening, Blake has actually not heard the submission yet. So I had a different submission planned out that I had told you about earlier this week or earlier last week, but I got this email yesterday. I haven't even responded to this person yet. I just saw this email and I just felt like she really needed a response and quick.
Okay.
And I know we're not professionals, but
maybe we can be helpful.
Yeah, and I think that it's just important with the position that she's in that we show her a little bit of love. So
Totally.
Here we go. We'll start off by reading the submission that we titled this episode after.
All right.
You ready?
Let's hear it.
Okay. So it says, "Hello. I met someone in July 2020. Over the holidays that year, he started to pull away, and I questioned if he wasn't interested in continuing our relationship. He reassured me that we were okay, but just wished that I was a little more talkative at times." Mm-hmm. Fast forward to January of 2021. So from July 2020 when they met, now it's January 2021.
Yeah.
It says, fast forward to January 2021. He was heading to a work trip in Hawaii.
Fun.
I looked at his Facebook page, which is private, and on his profile picture, there was a comment from a girl who I had seen text and call him recently. So I looked at her Facebook, which is public, and I saw that he had posted a picture in his apartment that day, and they were heading to Hawaii together. We broke up as I found out he was cheating on me with this other woman. He had gone to see her multiple times in Hawaii throughout 2020 and January, February, and March of 2021. He apologized and said he made a huge mistake and didn't know why he did this. Mm-hmm. We worked things out and eventually got back together. We actually got married, and I thought he's been doing good until last November when I found texts on his phone from the same girl.
Ugh.
He was professing his love for her.
Oh, man.
I cannot believe that this is happening again. He said he was just in a bad place and has a hard time letting people go. We'd been going to counseling for the last 4 months to resolve things from the past because I was still struggling from the betrayal. But then I find out he's communicating with her the whole time over multiple years. So the whole time they've been married, he's still been communicating with this woman.
Oh, man.
They were FaceTiming, texting, calling, even in the evenings when I was home. It's so hard to move past this, and I don't even think that I can. I moved out, and he's trying to change and be a better person now that I left. I just don't know if I can move past this or if he can ever change. What's your take from an outsider's perspective?
I mean, me personally, I couldn't move past it, and then I would have to just move on with my life. Mm-hmm. Personally. That just hurts. That's not just like he cheated again. It was like he was cheating for years, constantly.
Yeah.
It was just like it never ended.
It
really.
Never ended.
So it was just, count up the days was just all a lie.
Yeah. I feel like the person who submitted this is like, I don't know if I can move past this. What is your take? First and foremost, I can't tell anyone when it's time for them to leave a relationship, Even when someone's in an abusive relationship, it's really easy sitting on a comfy couch in our own home, not dealing with this kind of problem.
Right.
It's really easy for us to say, just leave.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is that it's not always just as easy as that. It's
right.
not just as easy as that. I don't know if they have kids. I feel like she would have mentioned it if they did have kids.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, but that would be what I would say. Don't move back in with him. He's shown you who he is. This has been years of infidelity. And you caught him once before you got married, and he said, I don't know why I did it. I won't do it again. Let's work things out. And then you got married, and what this was still going on even when you were getting married, and then after you were married it's still going on. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely devastating. I can't even imagine
how painful it would be to discover that. Yeah, it would hurt. And I was gonna make a comparison, but I don't think it's a reasonable comparison, you know.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say something like, you know, it's one thing if your partner is, say, fighting an addiction, right? And that's something that is like kind of just continuous and difficult, and something that you guys can work through together. But this isn't really this. I wouldn't classify this as any sort of mental illness or addiction or something.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't say anything about that in here.
No, I know.
And it doesn't, nothing in this would indicate any kind of addiction.
Well, what did she say though? Something about he has trouble
letting people go.
Right. So that's
not an addiction.
I'm like, what does that mean? Like, he's and I mean, there are people there, like, sex and porn addiction or is just a completely different topic, because sex and porn addiction, while cheating can be a symptom of sex and porn addiction, people who cheat overwhelmingly probably don't have sex and porn addiction. Sure.
So like, it's although it's kind of related, it's not really necessary, I think, to talk about. Like, I mean, we can talk about it if you want, but I don't think that, I think you're right. It doesn't really have anything to do with her situation, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's not something that's like a disease or an illness that he is struggling with. It's like it's a conscious decision that he made.
What's really sad is she told me to paraphrase, because it was a much longer email than this.
Okay.
But she did mention in the very beginning, that I just didn't put it in here, but I should have, that she was recently divorced when she met this man.
Okay.
So I can only assume that she's probably so devastated, thinking, I don't want to go through another divorce. But in my opinion, this is what she needs. I don't think that, if it were me, I would not want to continue a relationship like that. And let's be real. There's a huge amount of trauma that you are going to have to deal with after going through a betrayal like this.
Yeah.
So I actually do have a recommendation for a book. It's called The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays, MD. It's a beautiful, oh my goodness. It's actually, you can listen to it on, Audible. Yes, on Audible. They have it 1 credit, or like, it's like $10 for the audiobook, and you could probably finish the audiobook in one day. Like, it's not a super long read. It's like 10 or 11 hours. But it talks about the kind of trauma that you undergo when you deal with betrayal, and you have betrayal on betrayal. This is not the first time that this has happened. So and it just sucks, because this guy comes into your life and you think it's amazing, and you're with them, and you marry this person, and he fucked you up. Like, you did not ask for the shit that you're going to have to deal with now, but it's still shit that you have to deal with nonetheless. So get that book, The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays, and you will feel seen in a way that you've never felt seen before. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Yeah. And I know that I'm talking so much. I feel bad, babe, but I also have something else to say.
Let's
if
hear
you don't
it.
mind.
No, let's hear it.
Okay.
I just had my little 2 cents there, and I might finish it off with 2 more. So let's hear it.
Take your 4 cents and Okay, cool.
Almost a nickel. Quick maths.
I'm rich. All right. So, okay. The other thing that I would like to say is, when you're dealing with betrayal trauma, which is what this woman is dealing with, betrayal trauma, when you are in a partnership with someone, right? When you're in a partnership with them, they become your primary attachment.
Right.
So it's always been thought that when you are a baby, like, you attach to your parents, right? This is how attachment styles happen. You attach to your parents however you can. And that's where attachment styles come from.
Okay.
And it's always been thought that once you grow up and you leave the house, that suddenly you don't need to be attached to anyone and you're completely independent,
Right.
and you have a support system maybe, or people that you have relationships with, but you lose that primary attachment.
Right.
Well, recently what's been found out is actually that you don't lose that primary attachment, but it transfers to your usually your life partner, your lover, whoever
you're choosing spending the most time with, or
exactly,
something.
to spend the most time with. And so in romantic relationships, typically our primary attachment transfers to our partner.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a break in that primary attachment, your body sees that as a threat to your life.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because when you're a baby and you form attachments, that's out of survival.
Right.
And humans need attachments in order to survive. We can't survive solely just one of us alone forever.
Totally.
Like, we survive as a species because of our ability to connect with each other.
Yeah.
So when your partner, your romantic partner, cheats on you, this in your brain lights up as an actual threat to your life, because that attachment is threatened and destroyed. And so that's why we are talking about it as trauma, because your brain, even though logically you can sit back and be like, well, it's not like he stabbed me. Yeah, but your brain, even though logically you can say that, your brain still detects a break in an attachment as a threat to your life. So you still need to kind of handle it the way you would handle any trauma. So, get that book, The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays, and see a therapist. Whether he sees one or not, whether you decide to stay together or not, see a therapist.
Definitely.
A betrayal trauma therapist is going to be what I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do decide to stay together, I would still try to find a therapist that is well-versed in betrayal trauma, or even a certified sex addiction therapist, a CSAT. Even though your partner isn't showing signs of sex or porn addiction, those kinds of therapists are going to be the most well-versed in betrayal trauma and in the process of like infidelity and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give it the mic back to you here.
Yeah. Here's my two cents.
So what do you think, Blake? Anything else that you want to add to that?
I was just going to say, I bet it can be really difficult to leave abusive relationships for that reason that you stated about the attachment styles. I'm sure it can be really, really difficult. And, I don't know if this would be classified as like an abusive relationship, somebody who is continuously being infidelical.
I don't know what the word would be for that. Who's committing infidelity? Let's just say that.
Sure. All right. We'll go with that.
Someone who's continuously and repeatedly committing infidelity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can only try to imagine the difficulty when you plan to build a life with somebody, and it goes south like that. I mean, it doesn't just like ruin this relationship and this day-to-day life you have. I mean, it can just completely throw a wrench in the next 20 years. Like your entire plan could just it's upside down now. Yeah,
because we build our lives off of the people that we build these relationships with. Like, you and I bought a home together, and we're like raising a kid. Yeah. And my friends have become your friends. Right. And everything is altered when someone commits infidelity, and it feels like you're teetering on this fence where it's like either way you go, it doesn't look too great. Yeah. Either you dive back in and you try and you work and you do everything that you can to fix that relationship, and maybe it's not fixable, or maybe you are able to repair it, but you always still just have these doubts and these fears. Or you go on the other side, you fall to the other side of the fence and you have to start a completely new life. And you're all alone in the world. And that is like terrifying to most people. Yeah. Which is why a lot of people decide to stay when they don't have kids, is because they're just very scared to start over.
I think it would be a blessing if you don't have kids, if you don't have, maybe a house together yet. I mean, the less things that you've sort of built together would make it so much easier to leave and to move on and just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I hope that is the case. I hope there's less roots.
And I'm going to like speak to the submitter directly. You are not the reason that your partner has cheated on you. And it can feel like the opposite of that. Like you can feel like the reason that they cheated is because you didn't have sex with them enough, or you didn't wear makeup often enough. You weren't pretty enough. You weren't funny enough. You weren't around enough. You weren't X, Y, or Z. Fill in the blank with you weren't enough. You weren't any. And this is just, it couldn't be further from the truth. And experts say that when someone cheats on you, it actually usually has absolutely nothing to do with you. And so I think that it's really important, no matter what your partner may or may not say to you throughout this process filled with turmoil, whatever you decide to do, whether it's staying with them or not, whatever he says to you, just hold on to that like grain of truth as hard as you possibly can, because I think that's what's going to get you through it the most, is knowing that you did not cause him to do this. And I just had to say that.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Supportive.
People who cheat usually are doing it because of something in themselves. Like 99% of the time, they're doing it because they need something filled in themselves.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find a quick fix version of that. Instead of connecting with you and being real and raw and vulnerable with you and putting their energy toward you, it's easy to go out and have sex with a stranger or meet up with someone else who doesn't live with you and doesn't see all the bad sides of you. This woman doesn't live with him. She lives in a different state.
Yeah, everything is sunshine and rainbows when it's like surface level.
Yeah,
and
it's fake.
Yeah.
And we don't have to keep beating the point to death, but you're not the reason that he did this. You are not lacking. Everyone's lacking, actually. So I don't mean you're not lacking in any way, but we all lack. Like, no one person can be 100% of everything that you need.
Right.
So when you enter into a monogamous and committed relationship with someone, you are saying that I choose to be with you even if you can't meet 30% of my needs, even if you can't meet 40% of my needs. I'm choosing to be with you and live with those things and find a better way to connect through that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go be with anyone else to fill that 20 to 30 or whatever percent that you can't fill. So, so he fucked up, and he's been fucking up, and it's not your fault. So sorry, I won't say it again.
Amen.
Yeah. You ready to move on to our second submission?
Yes. Let us.
All right. So the second submission, I actually just had to put this in here because you remember our first episode, babe? Do you remember what it was?
It might take me a minute to recall.
The first episode was anal ...
Yes.
How do I convince my partner?
Right.
Well, it's funny because probably about 30% of the submissions that we get are people asking, usually men, asking how they can convince their female partners to engage in anal sex with them.
Crazy. Coercion.
Yeah. Well, and it's and I get it. Like, you want to try something new, but I think some of the submissions are a little too, it's just like I can't keep addressing the same question over and over. But
Totally.
I think that this person who submitted included just a couple details that I think made it stand out a little bit. So we're going to readdress the topic kind of, but in a little bit of a different light.
Cool.
So
let's hear it.
Okay. So this email reads, "Hey, how are you guys? I just want to know how I can convince my girlfriend to do anal. I always have wanted to try it. She never lets me try. And the one and only time we tried, she was too tense to let it go in, and she stopped me.
I would be too.
But I feel like if she just gives it another chance, she'll enjoy it. Please give me some advice on how I can convince her to go the whole way. Thank you. Sincerely, Brian." He included his name on this one. Thank you, Brian.
Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, you're obviously not the one putting anything up your butt, right? So You have no way to put yourself in your partner's shoes.
Wait, why is he obviously not the one putting anything up his butt?
Because it sounded like he wants to put something in her butt.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they've never pegged or anything.
True. That's true. That would have been nice if you added that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think we can safely assume. I put stuff in my butt all the time. It's her turn now. Yeah, I feel like if they did do that, he probably would have included, like, we want to do anal play. I do it all the time, but she doesn't want to. Like, right. I do feel like it would have been included. Yeah. Sometimes I don't like to assume that.
Gotta play devil's advocate.
Because either way, it's like, whether or not he's had something in his anus, he doesn't have to go through that in order to have a little bit of fucking empathy. What are you doing to make the process pleasurable for her? Yeah. You need to be stimulating your partner in a lot of other ways before she can actually fully relax. Yeah. Before they can, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, you can't just immediately stick your dick in it or stick something in it and expect that, like, it's going to be great and amazing.
Your primary focus should be her pleasure. Yeah. That should be your primary focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maximizing her pleasure, because ultimately it's dependent on her.
I don't know what kind of sex you guys are having. I don't know if you're just like having quickies and you're just kind of like jackhammering her and then nutting and then being like, all right,
deuces,
all done, bye.
Playing Call of Duty with the boys now.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much people are willing to do when they're really incredibly turned on and horny. So, like, I don't know about all women, but for me personally, like, if you can help me reach climax like multiple times, then I'm a little bit more like warmed up and in the mood. So you can play without going inside of her. Like, you can use toys. Like, you don't have to put your penis inside of her. You just play with her and have fun with her. Yeah. And once she's kind of like warmed up and stuff, you can ask for consent to maybe use a finger, like something smaller or a butt plug, and kind of work your way up. Lots and lots of lube.
Lots and lots of lube.
Our buttholes don't naturally lubricate themselves. So
you
want to use lots and lots of lube. If you don't have lube, like coconut oil is great.
Yeah. But it should be like that song on SpongeBob.
What's the song?
It's all about you, girl.
Nice.
On your 16th birthday.
Okay,
except for that part.
Except let's on your 25th birthday.
There we go.
Yeah. But
pay attention to you, girl. Everyone has to do just what you say.
There you go. Yes. Make everything about her. And you'd be surprised how quickly she kind of opens up like a flower. And also, it has to also be said that if she decides, I don't want to, what does that mean, babe?
It means she don't want to.
It means she doesn't fucking want to.
And that's it. And you get to make a decision. Are you going to support that and still love her, or is that going to end the whole thing?
Is anal sex more important than the relationship? And no judgment. Like, if that is something that you want to experience and you know that you cannot live the rest of your life without experiencing that, then maybe, if she says no, then maybe it's time to like move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like I said in the first episode, there's a trillion different experiences that you can have with your partner. Mm-hmm. Anal's one of them.
Yeah.
So don't get hung up on it if if
it's just like one.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just like one thing that you guys can experience together. Yeah, I don't even know what else to say on the topic. I feel like we covered it mostly in our first episode. Totally. So Brian, if you haven't already listened to it, go to our first episode. It's called Anal ... How do I convince my partner? We deep dive a little bit more into the topic on that episode. Yeah. I just wanted to cover it a little bit because he did say the one time we tried, she was too tense to let it go in and she stopped me. But if she gives it another chance, she'll enjoy it. First and foremost,
How do you know?
Yeah, first and foremost, you don't know that she'll enjoy it because it's not enjoyable for everyone. Some people don't like it. Just like some people loved being kissed on the neck and some people don't. Some people like their ear being nibbled and some people don't. So like maybe she will not ever enjoy it, and you have to learn whether you're okay with that or not.
Yeah, what if she said that, about you?
Yeah.
What if she really wanted to peg you and she's just like, come on, man, like
just relax.
Just relax, let it
you're
happen.
Too tense.
I know you're going to enjoy it because, right, scientifically,
you're going to enjoy it. There's so many nerve endings. Just chill and let me try again.
It's supposed to feel super good, right?
Yeah.
And it becomes this whole thing. So
I do think
about it from that perspective too.
Yeah, I do think maybe, Brian, you should be open to, maybe she would feel more comfortable trying anal play if you were willing to also go through that experience with her.
Maybe.
And you guys can kind of try together and you can kind of go back and forth, and maybe that would help open her up. So you need to also be open to these experiences. If it's something that you're wanting to do to her, then maybe think about how it would feel if the situation was reversed. And I do think that anal play can be pleasurable for most people. Again, not everyone, but I do think for most people, when it's approached patiently and kindly, especially for the first few times. I mean, once you're really familiar with it and you're really like comfortable, you and your partner comfortable with it, you could probably go into it a lot more quicker. But especially those first few times, it needs to be patient and kind and generous. And that's how you make it into a pleasurable experience for the both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. We'll read a Reddit post.
Okay.
And then I have a special little surprise activity for the end of the episode.
Okay. Surprise Cool. Surprise activity.
Yes. Okay. So this Reddit is titled, "Am I Overreacting? Wore lingerie for the first time for my boyfriend."
Okay.
That's all that the title says.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. It says, I, 22 female, decided to surprise my long distance relationship boyfriend, 24 male, by wearing lingerie after not seeing him for over a month. I wore it under my pajamas, and after we initiated, I took my clothes off to reveal, and his first reaction was that he chuckled and said, "You're gay."
Dude.
It stung, but I still proceeded as normal. So she was hurt, and she just kept engaging in sex with her partner because
Be tough.
she thought maybe she was overreacting or something, right?
Right.
She says, I didn't know what to even say to that. I was nervous in the first place to get dressed up and do this because I'm insecure about myself. It hurt that was the first thing he said instead of just complimenting me. I brought up how it felt after and why he would say that, and all he told me was, I didn't mean it like that. Why do you always have to complain? I just fucked you. Then he rolled over away from me and went to sleep immediately. He said he did say that I looked good while we were in the middle of doing it, but I didn't hear him say that. I still feel like my feelings were invalidated, and I'm quite frankly embarrassed that I even dressed up and that I'm posting this. I feel like he just doesn't care. It turned the mood sour. No aftercare, no cuddle, not even a kiss goodnight, just a night love you.
Dude, what a loser.
I know. I know. A lot of people will say, where are you guys finding these men that you're getting into relationships with? They're fucking everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're fucking everywhere. This guy, so his 22-year-old girlfriend dresses up in lingerie, strips off her clothes to show that she's dressed all sexy. You would love it. I mean, sometimes I do dress up for you. Not all the time, though. But you would love it if I did that. And there's no way in hell that you would respond the way that this guy responded.
No, and I mean, I would never use that language, but,
yes,
or anything like it.
That's also something like, why are we using gay in a joking, funny, derogatory way? Like it's not. It's 2024. It's almost 2025. In the year of our Lord 2024, why are we still using the term gay like this?
Yeah.
Find something better that is so like it's like not creative. Like you have two brain cells left and they're like making friction together just hard enough to get the word gay out.
Yep. 3 letters.
Be better and find a better way to express yourself. But even beyond that, like
right. the meaning behind it was, I mean,
what?
like he was trying to put her down.
Put her down?
Like,
joke?
was it sarcasm?
It's not the time for a joke.
It's
Your
not.
girlfriend dressed in sexy lingerie to like impress
For
you.
the first time?
For the first time.
For the first time. He's never seen this.
He's never seen it. And his first reaction is to crack a fucking joke.
I don't think he even
You're a
cares about
comedian now? All right.
Funny guy, huh?
Funny guy, huh? You funny? Why don't you laugh all the way to the bedroom where you can masturbate alone? Because I'm not having sex with you after that.
I know, right? That would have just been like okay, cool. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, never mind.
And I also just feel like I have to say this because I just believe this so much. Like, so his girlfriend dresses up in lingerie. Mm-hmm. He cracks a joke to her and then has sex with her.
Right.
And then after the sex, when she brings it up and she's like, I just felt like you didn't like think that I looked good. Like, can we talk about that? And he's like, shut the fuck up. I fucked you. And then he turns around and goes to sleep. No kiss, no cuddle, no talking, no anything. Like, are you even in a relationship at that point?
Yeah.
And I would put fucking money down that he is so consistently watching porn that he has rewired his brain to think, because when you watch porn, you go on, you find whatever you want to watch, you masturbate, you nut, and then you click your phone off and you roll over and go to sleep.
Right.
So he is reacting the same way that he would use porn is how he's using his girlfriend.
Right. Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to worry about what she's thinking, how she's feeling, what she's experiencing. All he has to do is get a nut in and then turn around and go to sleep. And there doesn't have to be any other effort put in.
Yeah. There's no love.
Yeah.
Are they even in a relationship?
Yeah.
Just being like a genuinely good person is not that.
No.
Like,
no.
Bless this man for bestowing his nut upon her. He's such a fucking alpha.
I don't know where you're going with it, but yeah, he thinks he's like God's fucking gift to earth.
Yes, like, God's gift of earth.
Like, all you have to do is nut and you've done your job.
Yes.
No.
Yes, get this man a fucking medal. No.
No,
dude.
And what's really sad is she said when she posted this on Reddit, she said that she's embarrassed that she dressed up for him and embarrassed that she's making the post. Like, I'd be like, girl, you do not need to be embarrassed. He should be fucking embarrassed.
Yeah,
he's an embarrassment to men.
Yeah. I know. Like, let this information get out to his male peers.
Yeah.
And
that he couldn't even compliment his own girlfriend who took time to do her hair and makeup and dress sexy for him. And he cracked a homophobic joke.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd be like, dude, I'll take care of her for you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not impressive. It's not impressive. Like, you're adults now, 22, 24, you're still young, but you're adults. Be better. Like, put effort in. Be better.
So you're not overreacting.
You're not. No,
you're
not overreacting by being sad. Honestly, put him. Just break up with him. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if the sex is gonna get better if he doesn't give a fuck about you.
So
they're pretty young. They're like probably still in college. I don't know, but. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't try to be better.
Yeah, it's the age of information, so there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Surprise time.
Are you ready? So here's what I was thinking. I think that this would be a fun way to end every episode rather than just with the Reddit. Mm-hmm. In the last episode, we talked about, I brought up this little deck of cards that Blake and I have used a few times. We have like 10 different decks of cards. We haven't used them all, but it's like a deck of cards and it's like relationship questions. And you basically just pull a random card and ask. But I took like all 10 of our decks and I took a little stack from each of them and I kind of shuffled them all together. And so what I was thinking, some of the questions are about sex, some are about love, some are about self-improvement. Like, it's all across the board, just random questions.
Yeah.
So I was thinking is that I took all these little pieces of the deck and I shuffled them all together. And I was thinking that we could each pull one card and ask the other person the question on the card.
Okay.
So what do you think? Should I pull a card first or you?
The person who pulls the card
reads it. So like if I pulled a card,
yeah,
I would read the question on the card and you would answer it.
Okay.
And vice versa. Do you want to pull a card first or should I?
I don't know. Let's flip a coin.
Don't think, just answer.
I'm thinking of a number.
Do it now.
Okay, I'll do
5,
it.
4, 3, 2.
You will sell
3,
me
2.
You will read me this card.
You will read me this card.
I'll draw the first card.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take the mic off for a sec. Here.
Okay.
Pick a card, any card.
That one. Right there. Just totally random.
All right.
Okay.
That's from the spicy deck.
Oh. All right.
It's called Dizzy Date. Yeah.
So
we haven't played that deck yet, actually. So I don't think we have.
Oh boy. Well, then we don't really know what the question is.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Y'all are gonna get a glimpse into our
And we have to be honest,
life.
Okay? Can you make that commitment right now? Like
yes.
we'll just be honest, whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're too embarrassed to talk about it, then say that out loud and let us know.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'll give you permission. Like, I don't want you to non-consensually answer any questions that you don't want to answer. But,
right.
But we got to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, go.
All right. Describe what you feel is emotional cheating.
Ooh. Describe what I feel is emotional cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that one's hard. It's hard because it's not as tangible as, like, physical cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to try not to go off on any tangents here.
Just stay nice and on track here.
Emotional cheating to me would be going to someone and telling them things and using them for emotional stability and telling them things that I'm hiding from you, for example, or like starting to pull energy that I would usually put into you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I tell you everything.
Right.
Like, you know everything about my life and about me. And I feel like my best friend Caitlin also knows everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like I'm emotionally cheating on you when I'm hanging out with my best friend.
Right.
But that's because I'm also like sharing all of those parts of me with you, and you know about her, and you know that I'm talking to her about those things. So I feel like emotional cheating has a lot of different like angles to it. But to me, it would be that I'm pulling energy away from you. So maybe I'm not being as energetic toward you. I'm not sharing all the things that I would usually tell you.
Right.
I'm not sharing as much with you. I'm taking that energy, I'm sharing it with someone else.
Yeah.
And then I'm also hiding that from you.
Totally.
And I feel like those three things together to me equals emotional cheating.
Yeah.
And I think that emotional cheating also kind of has to be with someone that you are attracted to or could feasibly be attracted to. So for example, if I'm a like straight as an arrow woman, and I'm going to a man that I could feasibly find physically attractive because maybe he's my type or whatever, like that I could possibly fall for, and I'm putting my energy into him and I'm hiding that from you, that, you know, that adds an extra like cheating layer to it, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's very well said.
Thank you. So I guess it's my turn?
Yeah.
All right. Can you fan out the cards for me?
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to close my eyes here and pick another one. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, it says, what's the craziest place you've done it with someone? The craziest place.
Pass.
No judgment. No judgment. I want to know that you don't want to talk about it. You know mine.
Yeah.
It wasn't with you.
No, I know.
So but
okay.
You know mine. I'm not going to judge you.
All right.
Will you guys judge him? They can't answer. That was cringy.
I was I don't know if I should disclose my age at the time of its occurrence.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was probably like,
statute of limitations is up. You get no. I'm
it's
just
been
kidding.
over. It's been like 12 years.
Yeah.
So.
You were like a teenager.
I was 15.
Yeah.
It was at a I would say probably at the a play structure at an elementary school. On the weekend, of course. So,
on the play structure?
Yeah.
Like in in the slide
under it and on it.
And on so you switched up position.
Switched it up on the play structure.
Under the play structure and on the play structure.
Yeah. It started on the play structure. It ended under the play structure. Because, I mean, come on, you got to be a little secretive when you're out in a space like that.
Wow. Yeah, that's super secretive, just doing it on a playground.
On the weekend.
You were a teenager. You were underage.
I can't be charged for this, right?
I hope not. For legal purposes, you guys, this was all a skit. And it's not real.
Nothing is real.
At all. All right. I feel like I'm closer to you. I feel like I know you better.
Good. Yeah, me too.
Now we just have to top that.
Next episode?
No, you and I have to top that. So that the next time that I ask you, where's the craziest place you've done it, that you have an answer that's better and with me.
Like, imagine if we were skydiving or something. Crazy.
You're like,
has that ever been done before?
You know what? I feel like everything's been done before.
There's no way.
Come on.
No, not everything. Although an airplane bathroom.
That's illegal.
I hear it's not. No, I hear it's legal.
No, it's not.
As long as you're in the bathroom and it's locked. I heard.
Who are you hearing this from?
It's that like TikTok lawyer guy who's always
TikTok lawyer guy?
Yeah, he's got really like bright teeth. And he's always like, that makes the person liable for the charges.
Okay.
Somebody might know who I'm talking about, but he said technically it's legal. It's just frowned upon.
And you know what? No shame. I'm actually fucking Googling this right now because we're the kind of couple that Googles things on each other.
Yeah.
To prove each other
totally.
wrong.
Oh, I want to know.
Right.
I want to know. I mean, if.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
While there's no law specifically prohibiting intercourse in flight, sex on board an aircraft can be a violation of the airline's conduct policies.
So it's the business's decision, but it's not illegal.
I never knew that, babe.
I think I know a lot of people have done that before, probably, right? It's like,
I don't know.
It's called joining the Mile High Club.
Is that that's what people are referring to?
Yeah.
I thought the Mile High Club is like an actual club.
It's like a credit card thing when you get American Express points or something.
Yeah.
But
you can't get the credit card till you fuck in the bathroom.
Urban Dictionary. It's a prerequisite. Like, your credit score is great, but
you haven't had sex in the bathroom. Have you christened the airline bathroom yet?
Right.
No?
No?
Then fuck off.
Yeah, you don't get the
Buy
American
another flight
Express
and try again,
card.
bitch.
All right, so that
is it. Thank you for being such a good sport and pulling the cards.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that. That was a fun question. They both were.
Yeah.
One serious one kind of goofy one. And yeah.
It was good.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. If you made it to the end of the episode, again, troopers, we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. I'm right there too. You guys are supportive and you got great questions and scenarios, and I hope that we
keep us on our toes.
Yeah, you do. I hope we offer a little bit of help
or entertainment.
Both. Yeah. Help, entertainment. Maybe we just piss you off too.
Yeah, maybe if we piss you off, maybe go listen to someone else talk. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and stay spicy.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.